Hello out there on YouTube. If I sound a little stuffy, I mowed the yard and I ain't never been the same since. Alright. I apologize if I sniffle or my nose twitches. But, y'all know today's Easter. So, happy Easter, y'all. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Hope y'all had a good day. We may not been able to meet, and go to sunrise services this morning because of this pandemic. Well, I got you some messages of hope here. This will be our, I believe, third Sunday series for COVID. I missed last week, and the reason was that we had a drive-in service last week. So I went to that, and I never even thought I should have made one for those of you that didn't have that, I watched a good online service preached by my friend this morning. He did a superb job, and I'm going to, he's a preacher, see, I'm a teacher. I sure ain't no singer, but they ain't never stopped me yet. But I'm going to go ahead and touch on something here. Man, my eyes are watering like crazy. Got me a drink here. Y'all never know what I'm drinking. It's Diet Coke. I got to have me Diet Coke tonight. I have something to drink. That's all I had in the fridge. No, I had something else in there, but I thought I'd have Diet Coke, something different. Ain't no carbs in that. We're going to talk, what he touched on this morning I thought was excellent. I never even thought of it that way. But that was a real good way to put it. He put it an excellent way. I know he'll be watching this when I put this on. He'll be watching. So I'm going to take a little spin. I'm going to use kind of what he said. I'm not copying you. Now, I want you to know I'm not copying you. I'm just going to copy to an extent, but then I'm going to, go out a little farther on it. And I'm going to take it to a different way. I'm going to tie into why. There's going to be two things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about thirst. We're going to talk about boredom and the word bored. I'm not talking about 2x4. I'm not talking about walnut. I think it's made out of walnut. I ain't talking about walnut. I ain't talking about oak. I ain't talking about 2x4. I'm talking about the state of being bored. Boredom. I'm sure some people are bored, but I'm going to tell you, I took my shoe off. Sorry, that was embarrassing. When we get done, you ain't going to ever be bored again. Alright? You ain't never going to be bored again. You just wait. You just wait. Alright? So let's go ahead and start here. We're just going to start here. If you're listening, you're following along, get your King James, whatever you read, get her out. I got in the NIV tonight because that's where I got everything underlined in, I'm going to underline tonight. This one I ain't got underlined. How goofy of me. I'm about as nutty as a fruitcake. So anyways, let's go ahead and start. If you flip, I don't know what page yours is, so I'm just going to tell you the chapter, the verse, in the book. So we'll be in, you guessed it probably, one of the Gospels. It'll be John. It'll be number 4. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We'll be in the 19th chapter, verse 25 tonight's where we'll be. We're going, not verse 25. I'm sorry, I read the top of my book. I need to read my notes. We're going to, well, that fell out. A bookmark fell out. It'll be alright. I'll put it back in there later. We're going to start on chapter 19, verse, will be at the end of 28. I'm going to start right here. It's in the middle. It's about the end of the verse. It says, Jesus said, I am thirsty. I am thirsty. Now, I'm going to ask you something. Why would be the king of the oceans, the king of the sea, the king of the rivers, the king of all the water, be thirsty? Well, when he was on, you notice they say, the world went dark. Let me go over here and find it. I found it. It was over here. I got it written down again. Imagine that. I'm prepared tonight. Oh, man. See, it says on here on Matthew 27, verse 45, from noon until thee in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land. It was about 3 in the afternoon. It says. And that's when he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me, is what he yells. So, it's dark. Why is it dark? Well, sin was all over the world. So they had to have they wanted a perfect lamb to make the ultimate sacrifice. We didn't have to sacrifice lambs, goats, sheep, cows all the time. You just had one, and that was it. Because in the Old Testament, that's what they had to do every time. They had to do that. They had to be a burnt offering. This was the one and ultimate offering for all of us. So there's a sinful nature of everybody was on him, on Jesus, all at once. When sin's in the presence of the most holy God, it just burns up, you know. He can't be with him. So he had to turn his back to him. So that's why it got dark. And he was thirsting. What are you saying? Well, is he thirsty for Diet Coke? They didn't have Diet Coke then. What's he thirsty for? You know? Beverage? No, he ain't thirsty for a beverage. He's thirsty for God. Just that much separation from him caused him to thirst. Not for drink, but for God. He was thirsting for him. He was thirsting for the Word, thirsting for fellowship with him, not thirsting for an actual liquid drink. But I never thought of it that way, but it is really good the way he put it. I'm going to read you something here, because I can. I'm going to tell you something. I found it here. It's in my photos. I screenshot this. Ooh, my nose is itching again. I don't want to itch it. This is a good old song here. Let me see if I can read it. My eyes are all watering again. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. One day, I came to him, I was so thirsty. I asked for water, my throat was so dry. He gave me water that I had never dreamed of. But for this water, my Lord had to die. He said, I thirst, yet he made the river. He said, I thirst, yet he made the sea. I thirst, said the King of the ages. In his great thirst, he brought the water to me. Think about that. He was thirsting for God. He wanted to be with him. He wanted to be in fellowship, wanted to be right in tune. He wanted to be, it was a fine working machine up until this time. And he was missing the oil. And the metal gears were grinding. And it wasn't working. That's why he was thirsty. I'm going to read you another one here, because I can. Now this is going to tell you something. Why he was thirsting here. This is going to tell you why we all should thirst. We should all thirst, and this is why I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to find it here, because I'm going to tell you. If I can find it. Oh, yes. I thirst, said the King of the oceans. Okay. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Now that was Matthew 5, verse 6. I apologize. I forgot to tell you that. So, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. If Jesus was thirsting for righteousness. You know, he's a perfect sinless man up until that point. You know, he had all the sin poured on him. You know, he's the only sinless man ever to walk the earth. You know, we're all conceived in sin. So that's something there. I'm gonna take you here. Let me look here. You know, it's just truth. I don't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you for nothing. I thirst, said the king of the ocean. Boy, that was hard to read that and not sing that song. I thirst, yet he I thirst. You ready? We're going to read it. Invitation to the thirsty is what mine says. Isaiah 55, verse 1 and verse 2. Come, all you who are thirsty, come out. Come to the water, and you will have. And who have no money, come by and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without cost. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the riches of fare. And then it says, give ear and come to me in verse 3. I tell you, there's a lot of things you can find in here. So think about that. I gotta get me something to wipe my nose with. I guess I'll have to deal with it. Anyways, that's one thing I was gonna tell you. Thirst. So, I was listening to good old. I gotta find something in here. There's got to be something in here. Wipe my nose with. That's all I've got is that little piece of paper towel. Thank the Lord. I apologize for that. Thirst. I was listening to something today from Billy Graham. You know, it says boredom. I thought, boy, this was just perfect for what's going on right now. It says Christians should not be bored ever, 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 ever. He said, and I agreed with this. Once he said, you know, I never thought, wow. I don't think I've ever been bored. You know, I don't really ever think I've ever been bored. I've not been bored during this. I might get tired of doing one thing, I'll go to another. I don't get bored. I don't think I've ever been bored. I don't know if truly. I don't think I ever have been. So there you go. But anyways, he said you shouldn't be bored. Well, that's right. You know, if you're thirsting for God, you wouldn't be bored because there's 1,000 things you can do. You can make a house visit to someone. A hospital visit to someone. Call somebody on the phone, you know. Call a fellow person on the phone. Anybody, you know. There's something you're doing your duty. You're brightening someone's day by calling them on the phone. Hopefully that's what you're doing when you call them on the phone. If you're not, then you need to check yourself, I guess, there. But, think about that. You got, thousands of things, numerous things. They got a whole Bible to read, you know. No greater love has anyone but to lay down their lives for their own friend. You know, there's all sorts of verses in there you can read all day long. All day long. You're never going to be bored. There's thousands of things you can do. You know, you can read this verse. This is my new hat. Y'all like it? John 3:16. You know, for he so loved the world. You know, there's that verse. But that's what you got to do. Is what you got to do. So you won't ever be bored. You shouldn't ever be bored. You got plenty of things to do. Thousands of things. Think about that. You've got all sorts of things to do. And that's the truth, you know. So I hope this little spiel lesson was okay. It might be, I don't know, I wouldn't say boring. It may not be interesting, though, because I didn't talk real fast tonight. I'm a little sluggish right now with this some sniffy stuff. But I'll get back to 100% one of these days. So y'all take care. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. Hopefully we can keep doing this again until we get back to normal, you know. Y'all have a great evening. Goodbye.